take the lead among all radio stations. Emirate Radio, the station of your choice. We take the lead among all radio stations.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to this morning's newspaper review on Emirates Radio.
Hello, good morning.
Emirates Radio is located behind the Federal Ministry of Environment off Old Jebba Road, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Alimah, you're looking beautiful as usual.
You're not bad, Emirates Queen.
Thank you, Emirates baby girl. Alright, as you already know, Nuria is jealous. You're also
always,
beautiful.
always very
Don't
jealous.
worry. You're also beautiful. Talati, you're not looking bad as well. She's not even listening to me. Alright. So come with us as we take you through the Nigerian dailies this beautiful Thursday morning. As you already know, I am Latifah Ibrahim-Arowona, and with me this morning is our beautiful radio baby girl,
Alimah Abdulsalam.
Alright, stay with us as we take you through the headlines. We'll be right back. The newspaper we have this morning are the Punch newspaper, the Daily Post newspaper, the Daily Trust newspaper,
The leadership
newspaper,
and the Vanguard newspaper.
Alright, and online fellow press. So stay with us as we take you through. On the fellow press this morning, federal government launches NYC reform committee amid safety and relevance concerns.
On the Punch newspaper, Oyo community shuns rivers over evil spirit ails student well donation.
And on the fellow press, still there, NTSB blames pilot error, safety failures in crash that killed Hubert Wigwe and family.
Still on the Punch newspaper, police demote officer, reprimand 2 others for assault in Imo.
Still on the fellow press this morning, presidency reacts as part of Utomi launches shadow government to challenge Tinubu.
Heading to the Daily Post newspaper, very dark man's phone, car, still with EFCC Adeoju.
And I'm going to the Punch newspaper as he just left. 18-year-old apprentice impregnates 10 girls in 5 months.
Chineke. On the Daily Post newspaper, Kano government bans live politician programs across media outlets.
Okay, still on the Punch newspaper. Allah not behind US-based Yoruba monarch's death, says a palace spokesman.
Locked on the Daily Post newspaper, ex-accountant general accuses EFCC of withholding key statements in 109.5 billion naira fraud trial.
Wow. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, 5 siblings died from food poisoning in Anambra.
Heading to the Leadership newspaper, Canadian Council to tackle graduate unemployment in Nigeria.
It didn't concern them.
God, I beg.
Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Kwara murder. Police tender dismembered Afsa's parts before court. Subhanallah.
God, I beg. Heading to the Daily Trust newspaper, show rules in anti-terror fight, not talks. Shehu Sani tells federal government.
Alright, I'm joining you on the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Bauchi suburb demotes suspend erring staff teachers.
On the Daily Trust newspaper, 2025 UTME results. Cornwall calls for urgent reform in education.
So, on Daily Post newspaper this morning, arrest Abure now for impersonation. OT tells IGP.
Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, pirates abduct 13 passengers on rivers waterways.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, Labour to demand cost of living allowance for Nigerian workers. Okay. All right, still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Return mission schools to owners. Bishop urged Osun government. And on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, NIPS participants allege bullying by directing staff on orders. And lastly, on the newspaper headlines this morning, delay salaries. Varsity workers threaten fresh shutdown. All right, stay with us as we take you through the news in details. On the fellow press this morning, the federal government launches NYC Reform Committee amid safety and relevance concerns. The federal government has inaugurated a high-level committee to undertake a comprehensive review of the National Youth Service Corps, aiming to revamp the decades-old scheme to better reflect Nigerians' current social and economic realities. The move comes amid growing public concern over the safety of corps members, the state of NYSC facilities, and questions around the program's relevance in today's Nigeria. NYSC to be repositioned as a tool for national growth. Speaking during the inauguration event in Abuja on Tuesday, Minister of Youth Development Ayodele Olawande emphasized that while the NYSC has historically promoted national unity and youth development since its inception in 1973, it now faces urgent challenges. The issues of corps members' safety infrastructure challenges and the scheme's relevance in today's dynamic environment are critical. But these challenges also present a chance to act decisively and reimagine the NYSC, Olawande said. Hello, baby girl. Do you think NYSC is not relevant in Nigeria right now?
As people say, most of like people that have served the country, people used to say it's that it's not really people. They used to say that it's not really, that some people would say some people even say it is considered as a waste of time. I
don't think so.
That's what people say.
I feel like
aside from the fun aspect of it, where you get to like
have freedom,
parade, everything.
No, actually, I just read yesterday that someone was saying people that are agitating for federal government to scrap NYC are not actually doing well. The thing they are supposed to scrap is that first 3 weeks, because it's just like bringing pupils together and giving them ground to do nonsense.
Okay.
The scheme itself is good because a lot of people make a lot of connections. They meet people that will help them for life. They meet friends that becomes their family. A lot of good things come from it. I feel like it's just that first 3 weeks that they take people together in the same place and calm them, and a lot of nuances happen is what should be scrapped.
I've never been there, so I don't know.
Yeah, you will very soon, hopefully.
Yeah, very soon. So, adding to the Punch newspaper, Oyo communities shun rivers over evil spirit. Else student well donation. Residents of Alelo village, Akufon, Ido local government area of Oyo State have lamented how they've trekked several kilometers to access potable water. They disclosed this yesterday during an inauguration of a well donated by Namatia Tembo, a student of IITA International School, Ibadan. The village head, Musiliu Olabanji, said the village had no access to potable water before the well was donated. According to him, the people had since stopped going to the only river in the village because of the fear of being killed by an evil spirit.
Wow.
So you mean to tell me that in this particular village there is a river, but they are scared
to go there water
because of an evil spirit?
It's probably because of the things they've been saying, so they might attach it to it being an evil spirit. It might be an evil spirit or might not, but they are the ones that are living there and they know better. So
they have to like trek several kilometers
to get water. People are really going through a lot in Nigeria.
I'm telling you, a lot. So if you don't listen to them,
the normal basic things we need, water is the number one. They have to trek kilometers.
Now imagine these people. I feel like sometimes they'll be like, don't let us bath today. I'm telling you,
a lot of them will not.
They'll be managing water,
of course. But it's raining season now, so it's going to be less work for them. It's dry season that they have to be going through a lot to get. Like seriously, Nigeria, my country. Still on the fellow press this morning, NTSB blames pilots' error safety failures in crash that killed Hubert Wigwe and his family. A new report from the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board has revealed that pilot error and systemic safety oversight failures were responsible for the tragic helicopter crash that killed former Access Holdings CEO Hubert Wigwe, his wife, son, and 3 others in February 2024. Spatial disorientation led to fatal crash. According to NTSB's final findings released yesterday, the crash was primarily caused by the pilot's decision to continue flying under visual flight rules, despite entering instrumental meteorological condition, a situation that requires different flight protocols and equipment. This poor judgment resulted in spatial disorientation and loss of control, ultimately leading to the crash near the California-Nevada border on February 9, 2024. So, my even speaker also, this is really
It's
sad.
a very sad news,
Like,
actually.
I think the pilots might be those type of people that are very stubborn. I can do it now. What's there? And then
Probably
it
let's
just
say,
killed people,
let's
like,
get there. I'm going to check. Oh my God. May their souls rest in peace.
I mean. This is
Still on the
very
Punch
sad.
newspaper, police demote officer, reprimand 2 others for assault in Imo State. The Imo State Police Command has demoted a sergeant, Anayo Ekenze, for assaulting a road traveler using a smoke gunner along the Owerri-Aba Expressway. The command also announced the reprimand of 2 police inspectors, Ofem Ogboana and Obina Okereke, for failing to exercise supervisory control during the incidents which occurred along the Owerri-Aba Highway. Police spokesperson for Imo State Command, DSP Henry Okoye, made this disclosure yesterday night. According to him, the 3 men, all attached to Safer Highway Unit, were found guilty of breach of the Police Force Code of Conduct and Human Rights Standard. He said Anayo Ekenze was found guilty and was demoted from a sergeant to a comptroller as punishment for his action, while the other 2 inspectors were reprimanded for failing to exercise appropriate supervision.
The way
I
these
feel like
police people, they used to harass people, it's so annoying.
It's so annoying.
That sometimes when I'm going inside keke or on a bike, and when I see them assaulting young boys because of the way they dress,
have you ever been,
or the way they barb their hair.
Have you ever been in a bus, or let's say a marwa, with a young guy?
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's always very, very, very annoying. Sometimes if you're in marwa with young guys, they'll just stop them. After stopping them, they'll be like, get down, show me your phone, show me your whatever, show me your whatever.
If it's showing me your phone, show me your whatever is good, they ransack their bag. If they have a backpack, they ransack them. And the way they treat them like criminals.
I was telling you, there was one time I was out with my brother. We went out and then the car was stopped. It was like using a face cap. So the face cap had inscription of like of the army dress, like all this soldier stuff. But then it's not for them. It's very obvious that it is like from another brand. It has the logo of the brand, but then the upper part of it had the inscription of, like army uniform, and then it was stopped. And they told him that he should let's go to the station. That why would he be wearing officer's clothes? And he was like,
where is the
officer's clothes on a snapback? That I'm telling you, he was made to feel statements that he has been doing Yahoo for 5 years. He has earned somebody that you've not even you didn't see proper evidences. And
I'm telling you, if care is not taken, he is a gunner.
I'm telling you,
he is a gunner. Like, it's so sad the way they treat civilians.
Very, very sad, though. Very, very sad.
I am still glued to the press as fellow press this morning. The presidency reacts as Pat Utomi launches shadow government to challenge Tinubu. Renowned economics and political activist Professor Pat Utomi has unveiled a shadow government comprising opposition figures across party lines in a bold move aimed at providing structured critique and policy alternative to the Bola Tinubu-led administration. The initiative, branded the Big Tent Coalition Shadow Government, was launched virtually on Monday and is expected to hold weekly cabinet-style meetings to assess government actions and propose reform-focused policy. Speaking during the inauguration, Usomi decried the state of government under President Tinubu, citing increased poverty, rising insecurity, and the exodus of multinational companies as signs of systemic failures. This shadow cabinet arises in response to a national emergency. It is our duty to challenge policies that plunge Nigerians into deeper suffering, Utomi said. The government, however, has dismissed the initiative as inappropriate. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, called it an aberration inconsistent with Nigeria's federal presidential system. Like, seriously? If we have this type of cabinets in Nigeria, we will not be in this type deep shit we are in Nigeria. I am loving this, and I hope it's going to continue, and I hope they are not going to be corrupt soon.
Amen.
Because they can be corrupted as well. I hope they will be able to continue this, and they will not change their focus and continue to focus.
Let them just know what they are there to do. That way they have people on the grassroots that are lying their hope in them.
Yeah.
On the Daily Post newspaper, Very Dark Man's phone, car still with EFCC, Adeyanju said. Activist lawyer Deji Adeyanju has stated that Very Dark Man's phone and car are yet to be released to him despite being granted bail. It was reported that Very Dark Man, a popular social media critic, was released from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC's) detention yesterday. Revealing why he was arrested, Very Dark Man disclosed that the EFCC suspected him of involvement in money laundering. Giving an update about his bail condition, his lawyer Deji Adeyanju revealed that his phone and car are still with the agency. Recall that Very Dark Man was arrested on Friday after visiting GT Bank with his mother to complain about an alleged deduction from her account.
Here we just talked about the police, Abby. Look at what the EFCC has doing as well.
I feel like this matter has things that we other people do not know.
Seeing.
You get things that we're not seeing. They should thank God that he has been released. Thank God that he has been released. All that is left is his phone and his car. At least for now, you might not be able to do video because like this. If Very Dark Man should set his ring light and his camera, I'm telling you,
they will not hear the last.
Everybody go collect woto for this country.
Seriously. Very Dark Man, that man, he loves Jobon
too much.
All right. From the Fellow Press to Leadership newspaper this morning, don't carry illegal goods to Saudi Arabia. KB Amirul Hajj warns pilgrim. The KB State Amirul Hajj for the 2025 Hajj exercise and the Emir of Argungu, Sama'ila Muhammad Mira, has warned intending pilgrims from the states not to carry luggage with illegal consignment. He gave the warning shortly after a security meeting presided over by him on Tuesday evening at the premises of PWA in Birnin Kebbi. He warned that anybody caught with illegal items in his or her traveling bags will be arrested and handed over to the Nigerian or Saudi security forces for prosecution. Mera also announced that PWA has concluded arrangements to begin airlifting the first 420 pilgrims on Friday, May 9th at Sir Ahmadu Bello International Airport, Arubusa in Birnin Kebbi. The Amirul Hajj, however, advised intending pilgrims to always listen to the information and messages from Hajj guides regarding flight schedules so that they do not miss the journey. If you hear you are on your own, if you fuck up, this man it does that.
This kind of thing, person if you fuck up, but with that amount of money.
Some people will still fuck up, my sister. You will see now we are here. Not
may the good Lord bless us. But if not me, I know fit with that amount of money. Make I come fuck up. Yeah.
Okay.
Heading to the Daily Post newspaper. Okay, I'm still in the Daily Post newspaper. Kano government bans live political programs across media outlets.
All right.
Okay, the Kano State government has announced an immediate ban of all live political programs across media platforms in the state. The state cited the need to curb inflammatory content and protect cultural and religious harmony. The decision was made public during a quarterly engagement meeting between officials of the Ministry of Information and International Affairs and media executive. The meeting held in Kano was chaired by the Commissioner of Information, Comrade Ibrahim Abdulsalam. In a statement signed by the ministry's Director of Special Duties, Sani Abayola, the government said that the ban aim is to prevent the spread of inflammatory content capable of endangering the cultural and religious harmony of the state. He added that while the government respects freedom of expression, it must be balanced with responsibility. Under the new policy, any individual invited for interview on media platform will be required to sign an undertaking pledging not to make abusive, defamatory, or cultural offensive statements. Presenters and program hosts have also been directed to refrain from asking provocative questions or making suggestive gestures that could lead to statements capable of defaming individuals or damaging the image of Kano State.
Like seriously, Kano State, where is the right to talk the way you feel? Thank you. Freedom of speech. Where is the freedom of speech?
And it was said there that,
and it's even not just online, or they will be tracking people online to see what they are posting.
So it means that in Kano State now, even if there is, let's say, probably a political news, they have to think twice before they write it.
Before they write it, Gani.
Okay, not to talk of reading
yes. That's what they are saying.
For this Nigeria, there is freedom of speech, but the one after speech is not guaranteed.
It's not.
May the good Lord save us.
Me. All right. Coming with you on the Daily Post newspaper, going to Bauchi. Bauchi Subeb demotes, suspends errand staff and teachers. The Bauchi State Universal Basic Education Board, Subeb, has ordered the demotion, suspension, and issuance of queries to staff and teachers found guilty of misconduct across the state. As part of the disciplinary measure, the executive chairman of the board, Alhaji Adamu Muhammad Duguri, also announced the immediate dissolution of all supervisors under the Bauchi Local Government Education Authority. He instructed them to return to classroom teaching without delays. Duguri issued the directives while briefing journalists after an unscheduled inspection of third-term resumption activities at the selected school outside the Bauchi metropolis on Wednesday. He attributed the decision to the gross misconduct and unpatriotic behavior displayed by some supervisors. According to him, the government has made significant efforts to create a conducive learning environment and improve teachers' welfare and will no longer tolerate truancy and negligence. He reiterated the board's commitment to enforcing disciplinary action against staff who fail in their duties, while calling for the need to prioritize students' academic progress. I think I'm liking this.
I love it.
If they continue to do this, teachers will not be running away from school. Because
I love it. I'm
these
telling
teachers,
you,
especially these...
You see in Kwara State, for example, there are some villages schools that the teachers, they don't go. They only go like once in a month. I mean, these people, they collect salary from the government.
Yes, and they will not go.
How do you expect pupils or students or people that you are taking, how do you want them to know what they are doing when you do not go? I mean, people are parents of some children. And imagine your children teachers are doing that kind of thing to them.
I'm telling you. That's why it's because there's no check and balance. If they continue to go and look for them in the schools, I feel like check after what they are doing.
Unexpected visits by the board, by the head of this thing. They should just go there. See that you're not around. Fire everybody.
No, query first, mommy. Query first.
I don't get cheap pills. No
I don't get.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper, ex-accountant general accuses EFCC on withholding key statements in 109.5 billion naira fraud trial. All this big money,
big money, I'm telling you.
Former Accountant General of the Federation, AGF, Ahmad Idris, yesterday told an Abuja High Court that the Economy and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, failed to present all the statements he made during their investigation. Testifying in a trial within trial section ordered by Justice Yusuf Halilu, Idris claimed that only 13 of 16 statements had been made were tendered in court, excluding 3 that detailed the role of government officials and agencies in the consultancy at the center of the case. The special hearing followed an objection by Idris's lawyer, Chris Uche San, who challenged the admissibility of the statement on ground of alleged deception and endorsement. Idris, who is being prosecuted alongside Geoffrey Oluseun Akindele, Mohammed Kudus Usman, and Gezal Commodity Market and Exchange Limited, is facing 14 counts of alleged theft and fraudulent diversion of 109.5 billion in public funds. The former AG testified that a statement, particularly those dated June 10, June 27, and July 5, 2022, were made without legal representation and under circumstances where he was directed on what to write by EFCC investigators. He denied that his lawyer was represent during any of the interrogations, and added that none of his statements were video recorded as required for proper documentation of continuary confession. And we said together. How will people just withhold key
Public
statements
phones.
to 109.5 billion naira?
Fraud trial. You see, it's probably because out of that 109.5 billion, that person has given him maybe like 100 million, like, you know, for him to keep it.
Like,
I'm not saying he has given him, baby, don't come after me,
like, you know,
because it does not make sense. How
why would you just
withhold, so like, that's what we are talking about, Nigerian diary.
I say
somebody that has embedded this kind of 109.5 billion naira. Imagine if he has taking 100 million out of it to take care of people that is going to take him to trial. You know, he has not gotten shots now.
Yes,
the guy no lose.
I'm telling you, all this big money too, they fear me. God, I beg.
Still on Daily Post newspaper, Labour to demand cost of living allowance for Nigerian workers. All right.
Okay.
The Nigerian Labour Congress has vowed to begin another struggle aimed at securing a cost of living allowance for workers. NLC National President Joe Ajaero, who gave the hint in an interview with Vanguard, lamented the level of economic hardship bedeviling Nigerians since the inception of the present administration. Ajaero explained that the 70,000 new national minimum wage has failed to address the current cost of living. According to him, when the NLC and the Trade Union Congress went for the negotiations of the new national minimum wage, we had in mind that we were going to get a clear agreement based on the cost of living. He, however, lamented that the unions met a government team that was unprepared. Ajaero said the union asked how much of the 70,000 naira they wanted to pay will go towards transports. What about basic needs? How much is housing? We tabulated the cost of cooking gas, the bag of rice, and other essentials. The government team didn't have any response. At that time, the situation was biting seriously, and we insisted on a living wage. In the end, we didn't get it. We wanted to benchmark it against inflation. If inflation increases, the wage should adjust automatically, but they still refused. So after a national strike, numerous protests, and an agreement with the president that if we accepted 70,000 naira, they would increase the pump price, which they re-engaged on. We reluctantly accepted the 70,000 naira. Now, the value of that 70,000 naira has been completely eroded. Even the wage award they gave us as relief has stopped. You can see that we have every right to demand a cost of living allowance to address our current situation. Like, seriously, not just current living allowance, like 70,000 naira. Only gas for 1 month gone. Let's say 20,000 naira has gone for gas. That's for a family of 4.
Naira. I'm not going to lie. It's not
transport's gone.
It's not doing anything.
You see, I feel like this Joe Ajaero, I don't know. I don't say he is. The man has collected a good job, because I don't think he's actually fighting for workers. He's fighting for himself, because now maybe he's broke again. That's why he has started coming out again to talk all these things. Allow him to go out for a few more kidney. They will pump him with small money, and then we'll go and sit down again. When his money is finished, I feel like that's what this man is, because if he's actually fighting for the workers of Nigeria, they will not be where they are again. This 70,000 naira is not all the states that are paying into. Some states are not paying it at all. It's not all the states in Nigeria that are collecting the 70,000 naira. Now, and the pump price is there. Tip it to go and to come every day is more than 1,000 naira for people. Now tell me, for 1 month, and we are saying teachers are running from their work. Would they not run?
Honestly, they would run. We're not going to lie. Let's not lie. It's very painful.
He's paying for how much is 70,000 naira for God's sake?
Heading to the leadership newspaper. Canadian Council to tackle graduate unemployment in Nigeria. I never even know that there's a Canadian Council in Nigeria. The Canadian Education Council has reaffirmed its commitment to address the persistent issue of graduate unemployment and employment ability gaps in Nigeria through partnership with higher education institutions to establish international career centers across Nigerian universities. The council has introduced two transformative initiatives to bridge this gap: the Canadian Internship Test (CIT) and the Canadian Employment License Test (CETL). These tests evaluate graduate work and readiness and alignment with international standards and are tools for vetting and assessing their readiness for career opportunity. Speaking at the media briefing in Abuja, Dr. Adeyemi John, the country director of Canadian Education Council in Nigeria, emphasized the urgency of Nigerian university to modernize their approach to career development. Really?
It's my work, but
is actually nice if it works.
If it works, but knowing how we Nigerians are, you see one person that has a father in the Canadian embassy or whatever, they'll just use it. But
I feel like instead of adapting this Canadian Education Council and all, can't Nigeria just work on how to better the education sector and all?
They are not ready now. They will not do that. They will not do that.
May God help us.
Ami. From the Daily Post to the Punch newspaper this morning. Kwara murder. Please tender dismembered Hafsa's parts before court. Right, this girl's story is really sad. 4 witnesses, including 2 policemen and relatives of the murdered Hafsa Lawal, appeared in court yesterday to give evidence before Justice Hannah Ajayi, sitting at the Kwara State High Court, Ilorin. Abdurrahman Bello and 4 other suspects had been charged before the court but pleaded not guilty to all counts in the murder case. The suspects were first arraigned before a chief magistrate's court before being transferred to the High Court, where a proper hearing in the murder case finally took off yesterday. The prime suspects, Abdurrahman Bello and 4 other accomplices, including Ahmad Abdulwasiu, Suleiman Mohideen, Jamiu Usman, and Abdurrahman Jamiu, were arraigned for the murder of 24-year-old Hafsa Lawal, a final-year female student of Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin. They were alleged to have committed criminal conspiracy, culpable homicide, and illegal possession of human parts, while the first defendant, Abdurrahman Bello, was solely accused of raping the deceased. During yesterday's hearing, Assistant Superintendent tell me, I cannot call
Superintendent.
All right, my mouth is
Superintendent
of Police Yusuf Dauda and Inspector Mohammed Kamaldeen tendered items recovered from the suspects, including 2 human palms, and other body parts, a container of human blood, an axe, a cutlass, a table, a wooden box of black soap, 4 mobile phones, a sack of charms, and a notebook of charms, all admitted as exhibits by the court. The father of the late Hafsa Lawal, Mr. Ibrahim Lawal, narrated how his daughter went missing and her mobile phone was tracked before the prime suspect, Abdurrahman Bello, was arrested. In an emotion-laden voice, he recounted how the prime suspect, Abdurrahman Bello, at the Ojaoba police station in Ilorin, allegedly confessed to killing and dismembering the body of his daughter. I don't want to continue reading this news. Halima, you were at the court yesterday and you saw things that could not make you sleep.
I couldn't sleep, guys. I couldn't sleep.
Seriously?
If I closed my eyes, I kept on seeing things. I kept on recollecting everything that happened yesterday.
It was horror.
I literally saw the hand. So anytime I close my hand, my
hand continued to fly.
I see the way the hand was placed on. I was like, I couldn't hold it.
It's barbaric.
I couldn't help but cry because
I just hope
the situation is a very, very bad one. I mean, the poor girl could not even get a proper burial. Her whole body being carried here and there, carried here and there.
Like I don't know the situation. The mother of that, like you've seen her father.
Her father.
You saw her father.
Stop crying.
How will it stop crying?
Explaining the whole process, he was crying. He was saying it that when he heard when Abdurrahman said, okay, he had killed the daughter. It was
Okay, where is the dead body?
He cried. Fine, he was pained. Okay, now
Where is the
bring
body?
my daughter's dead body. At least you've killed her.
Where
Give me
is-
my daughter. And then he had to say it now that she has been pieces. It was in his mind. He said when he said she has been pieces, he thought it was in a movie, like probably maybe they were acting. So it was like pieces. Like he said the word pieces. He couldn't even remember what the word pieces meant. Like pieces, as thou you pieces. You then the hand was brought before him that this is the only thing left.
And probably her blood.
Imagine and her blood that was in a container. Imagine that
Probably.
kind of scene. The man is traumatized for life.
How do you now want the mother to feel?
The mother is going to feel very, very
Even
worse
more.
than what the father is feeling. I feel like that's why she couldn't even come to court.
How will
She's
she come?
going to be mentally unstable.
For forever.
Like this.
Because
do you know
I've
the
seen parents.
kind of trauma they are in now? After siblings, if she has, her siblings would never be allowed to step out of the house.
Apart from that,
If they are stepping out
they are
of the
scarred.
house,
Those
they are
siblings
going
too,
to be
they are
monitored.
scarred for life. For them to have boyfriends now is going to be traumatic for them, and whoever marries the girls or the boys is going to have problem with them because the trust for the male version in their life, in their family, is gone for forever. Like seriously, the woman too.
I mean, I can't just put
never be
myself
okay again.
together
Because
that-
I've seen mother that their children die, they get to bury their children,
you know, if
and
she
they are
had,
still
if
not
she had
okay.
slept and not woken up, is a different thing. That at least they'll know that okay, this is where
Where
Asa
I'm
was
buried.
buried. This is we saw our. But the father said the last time they saw her was when she came into the house to take her bath and was ready for the naming ceremony.
She was
that
supposed to be.
not knowing that was the last time they are going to
It's
see
really,
their daughter.
really sad. Our time is fast spent. I think you should read your last and then I read my last. This is
Okay.
really sad.
Adding to the Daily Trust newspaper, show result in anti-terror fight, not talks. Shehu Sani tells federal government.
Talk don't too
Hey,
much now.
former senator representing Kaduna Central, Shehu Sani, has called on the federal government to focus more on action than speeches in an ongoing war against terrorism and banditry in Nigeria. Speaking on a news station yesterday, the former lawmaker said Nigeria needs improved strategy, technology, and proper funding to fight and win the war. Sani, 57, said that fight against terrorism in Nigeria had lasted over 15 years, yet the country has not been able to completely eliminate the threat. He said it is a war for the peace, unity, and survival of Nigeria and must not be taken lightly. He noted that despite several conferences and summits on security, nothing concrete has changed. We have had enough talk. What we need now is action and results, he said. The senator said terrorist group operating in Nigeria's northeast has become more dirging over time and are now using advanced technology like drones. He said the government have to invest in modern warfare equipment to match them. He explained that defeating terrorists is not something that can happen overnight. He said the country must keep supporting the military and ensure that soldiers get equipment and warfare they need to succeed.
I'm telling you.
I feel like this kind of thing, normally, you see, I don't know, I think I was like listening to a radio this morning and I heard some kind of conversation that these terrorists, the ammunitions, the weapons, the everything that they use,
the first class weapons is what they use.
They are way better than what
Our
Nigerian
soldiers.
military officers than what they use. So I feel like people that, let's say for instance, you are holding a marker and I'm holding a biro and I want to write on a paper. What I write on a paper for somebody that is like, let's say like 15 steps away from us to see, the person is going to see yours that you wrote in marker than mine that was written in biro. So for us to be able to communicate with that kind of person, we need to use the same thing.
I'm telling you.
So I just use the marker as an example. What I'm saying in essence is that I feel like our government,
They know now.
Put
all the
enough
money.
funding into this thing.
Instead of them to put enough funding, they are using the funding. They are embezzling our funds.
Imagine some people that we tell them statement to 109.5 billion naira. If that kind of money was invested into our military stuff, you think that we wouldn't have defeated all of these people? Fine, ammunition and weapons and everything, they are expensive, but at least
we have the money.
Billions of nairas could solve some things.
All right, we've spent a very long time on the show this
But I
morning.
think you should take
This last one
news.
is kind of funny and I really
A very
want to
funny
take it.
one, no?
So the last one on this morning's newspaper review on Emirates Radio is the 18-year-old boy apprentice impregnates 10 girls in 5 months. That boy, na baba japo. An 18-year-old apprentice has allegedly impregnated 10 girls in just 5 months, including his master's daughter and a sales girl in Anambra State. Report says it was first sent to learn a trade under a master, but within 3 months, he got both his boss's daughter and a sales girl pregnant. This, however, led to his dismissal from the apprenticeship. The State Commissioner of Women and Social Welfare, Ife Obinabo, disclosed this in a live video on social media yesterday. Obinabo said that the situation got worse after he returned to his village. She said, "I want advice from the public because this one is beyond my capacity." This boy was sent to learn a trade at the age of 18 and 3 months of apprenticeship, and impregnated his master's daughter and a sales girl. He was sent packing 2 months after that. He impregnated 8 other girls in the village. Obinabo also said the boy's mother came to her office to report the issue because she's just tired. According to her, the mother said, "Anytime I see a girl coming towards our house nowadays, my heart will jump. Please, I need help." Obinabo said, "This matter is beyond me. The reason I want the public to help me come up with a solution. Is it spiritual?" She said she asked the boy how he was able to convince the girls. "I asked the boy the magic he uses in luring the girls to bed, but he told me he always tells them that he loves them and would like to marry them anytime he acquires wealth." This problem is beyond me because of the boy's age and the number of pregnant girls involved. That's why I need help to solve it. Obinabo did not mention the name of the boy, his mother, or their community, but she called on the public to suggest a solution.
Oh my God.
That boy is so...
An 18-year-old
is so
boy
healthy.
Already has, let's say, 10
incoming
10
babies.
incoming babies.
That is
So
massive.
what if he was 30?
How many babies are going to be coming?
What if he was 50?
I pitied the mother.
What if
because
he-
probably the father is not in the picture because he was not mentioned in the news. Like the mother is going to
I'm
be
very
what
sure
is like-
this boy is a son of a struggling woman.
Of course, obviously. That's why she has to go and
How
meet
do
the
you
Minister
not
of,
use your sense?
Anambra State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare.
This is the problem that comes with when somebody is like a womanizer, because how would you manage
this one is way higher than being
you know
he has slept with 10 different people
normally
at 18
is a case of humanizing. Let's say he didn't know that they were going to be pregnant. He might have slept with more than 10, but it's just
true.
only 10
of them that were
are
pregnant. That's another side to the story.
Or probably some of them are even pregnant and they just know that this boy cannot even do anything, and they've done something about it.
And it's true. That's another dimension to the story. Like,
so
that
I feel
boy,
like it's because he likes women. If you do not like women, how would you in the space of 5 months
sleep with more than 10 girls? Because obviously it's true. They are actually probably more than 10. Truly.
So it means like every day or every week you are doing rubbish.
Every week.
Ha!
That is insane.
Na Chineke, this one
I'm telling you.
Real Chineke. What it be
All right,
this?
that brings us to the end of newspaper review on Emirates Radio this morning. Thank you for listening. You want to listen to any of those newspaper headlines and the news and details, pick up the newspaper and read them.
Yes, we have the Punch newspaper,
today.
Daily Post, Leadership, Daily Trust,
Fellow Press
and everything.
All right, thank you for listening. I am Latifah Ibrahim-Arowona. Have a great
I am
day.
Alimah Abdulsalam. Thanks for listening.
Day.